Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 24th episode of the Fandom Flux podcast. I know it's the 24th for once. I actually remembered what episode we're on. As always, I'm your host, Casey W., and with me we have Sisinus.
Hello.
Zero.
Tomorrow's my birthday!
And Kenshi.
Hello, I'm Kenshi618, and I don't like Canada.
That was why? Specific.
I don't like maple syrup. It reminds me of Canada.
I just had some syrup. I had some Eggo waffles. It's good.
Yeah,
Syrup's nice. I used to eat that from the bottle.
Yeah, I don't like maple syrup. It reminds me of Canada for some reason.
It's one of the major food groups for elves.
Okay, saying you don't like syrup because it reminds you of Canada means you've got a problem with Canada that's outside of maple syrup. So what's the problem with Canada?
I just told you I don't like maple syrup.
But you said you don't like syrup because it reminds you of Canada.
Yes.
So what's wrong with Canada? That's a bad thing to be reminded of.
I don't have to justify why I don't like things, okay? You should be grateful that I'm explaining this to you.
So what I've got out of this is that Kenshi doesn't like Canada because it has maple syrup, and he doesn't like maple syrup because it comes from Canada. It's just an endless cycle of hatred.
Yeah, it doesn't have a beginning to this.
Unexplained hatred.
It's just a cycle. It's a cycle with no beginning.
And
You're trapped in the cycle of hatred. You know, you have something in common with Sasuke Uchiha now.
Oh.
I bet I just made Kenshi sad.
It's very hard to make me sad.
Okay.
We'll try harder next time.
I made Kenshi miffed.
Right.
Annoyed. Irritated.
Okay.
Unenthused. Okay, so we're going to start, as always, with what we've been doing. What have we been doing? We'll start with Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo, Sisinus.
Sorry, Mike. Anyway, I've had a horrible fucking cough for like a solid week now, so I'll try to mute my mic before I start hacking up a lung, but I might not catch all of them. So yeah, just a warning.
Okay. You'd have to actually mute your mic, not just mute your mic in the Skype call. Just
yeah, I know. I got the mic thing in front of me, the actual headset mute.
Cool.
I played Darksiders 1 and 2 because I was so obsessed with Dark Souls, I completely forgot I actually had Darksiders 1 downloaded and everything. My opinion of Darksiders 1 is very simple. Fuck Darksiders 1 because it's a stupid game.
But it's great, and it's got Liam O'Brien doing his epic voice.
You mean the voice of War, or am I mixing up voices?
Yeah, that's the voice of War.
He has a pretty good voice, yeah. The voice acting is pretty solid, I'll give it that, but...
Yeah, and it's Mark Hamill doing the Watcher voice as well.
Yeah.
So you got the Joker as your
did he
evil
play
sidekick.
Joker? Because that sounded really familiar. Okay,
that's Joker.
Okay. Yeah, that was solid. That was really good. But just the combat is so... God. Oh. Your dodge rules are not far enough to dodge most enemies. Your block is not strong enough to block anything that is bigger than you are, which is 90% of the enemies, and you don't get any other weapons. I mean, you can level up the ones you have, but it doesn't feel like there's any sense of progression. So every battle is just a slugfest.
I'm gonna I hate using this excuse, but you just suck at the game then.
Fair enough.
Because that's a great game.
I really should be better at it, but there's a parry mechanic. So you block at the right time, and you do counterattacks, but it's off. The timing is off. Or maybe my controller's just getting old. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know.
I
enjoyed it a lot. I beat it on the hardest mode, so you know.
Yeah, whatever. Darksiders.
Yeah, I suck at like combat games, so you know if I can do it, then.
Character action games, you mean?
Yeah, I suck at them. I really, really do.
Why?
I don't know, just not good at them. Not good reaction times and stuff like that.
Just can't feel the revengeance rising in you.
I didn't play that one, and I don't intend to.
You should. It's so good. It's so good. The music is so good, and the fighting is so good.
You shouldn't play it if he's not good at fucking combat games. That game really has a parry system you need to learn if you're going to beat that game on any kind of real difficulty.
Yeah, you do.
It's not a bad
That's why I'm nervous about it.
I know, I love
Pat
that.
made it look so easy.
I love the system. It's just
it works really well.
You got to learn it.
Yeah, I can get decent at them if I really invest myself in them. Like I think halfway through Devil May Cry 3 on Dante Must Die mode, which is apparently one of the hardest ones that they did in the series.
It is.
So I did okay in that one. But otherwise, I just kind of suck in general. Sorry, you were saying, Slicer. I interrupted you because you were hating on Darksiders for terrible reasons.
Right. Anyway, while I was beating Darksiders 1, I acquired Darksiders 2 through other means. And it fixes a lot of problems from the first one, but it's got the same problems that Borderlands 2 has. You get a weapon, and it has a great effect, and it does a lot of damage, but then you level up a few times, and suddenly it's not a good weapon anymore. So you never feel strong enough. And what?
Your possessed weapons are literally lifesavers when it comes to that.
What?
The orange weapons.
Possessed. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't found one of those yet, so...
The second you get one of those and just feed it all the stuff that you want it to have, then it will be your go-to weapon for the next, 10 levels, or something ridiculous like that.
That sounds fantastic, because I got, the copy I had all the DLC stuff on it, so I had armor that boosted my health, gave me a bunch of resistance, and then my weapon did lifesteal, so I was pretty solid for the first 5 hours
Lifesteal and Wrathsteal are probably the best enchantments that you can get on weapons, the best ones.
Wrathsteal?
Yeah.
I barely use Wrath. I summon stuff sometimes, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's if you use the magic side of the tree and just level up everything on that side, then you can just do a massive circuit of summon something, they'll do a load of damage. You hit something a couple of times, you get all the Wrath back, and then you can summon it again.
Huh.
And then it's just an instant win doing that way. We're getting really in-depth on these game mechanics, so we should probably pull back a little bit. Sorry about that, I'm doing it again. I like this series a lot, and I'm excited about it.
I just wish those kind of games had a mechanic where you could just upgrade your gear. Just, boost every stat for it, and then keep it with your level. Even if it was, really expensive, you're already grinding anyway, so you're getting gold.
Yeah, that's kind of what they were doing with the possessed weapons, but they didn't do it with anything else, which kind of sucks, I guess.
Yeah, shame. Last thing I did was just watch Black Lagoon. I'm up to, episode 14 or something like that. Been meaning to watch it for a while, but finally got around to it.
What is it? I've never seen it.
A Japanese businessman gets kind of captured by this mercenary group, and the company that he works for kind of disavows his existence. So he kind of goes with the mercenary group, and it's their adventures. I'm really underselling it because I'm bad at explaining things, but it is really good.
No, I've never seen it.
Oh. It's awful.
Yeah. Anyway, that gets a full recommendation from me. That might just be my recommendation this week.
Okay. Anything else? Or shall we move on?
Nope, that's it.
Okay. Zero.
Wait, one more. Sorry. I ordered a Wii half a week ago, and it got here 3 weeks ahead of schedule.
Woo!
So, yeah, I have a Wii now.
Working one.
Yeah.
Was it a Wii U or just a regular Wii?
Just a regular Wii. I didn't need a Wii U for anything.
All right.
I'd like
You're
one.
playing
It was
games.
$150 more dollars. So yeah.
Really? Because I ordered a phone case a month ago. Still not here.
Where'd you order it from?
Cat Gift.
Right.
Cat Gift store.
Speaking of late deliveries, I ordered a set of metal D&D dice. And I ordered it a week ago. And it said 2-day delivery. I'm like, okay, now it's Friday and it still hasn't arrived. And I got metal because the numbers won't ever wear away like I've seen other dice do. And I like the ability to throw them at people and actually injure them.
Yeah, I was going to say, you intending to throw those dice at people? Or?
Hey, if I have them in my pocket and somebody's trying to mess with me, I just throw them at them. And they're like, ow, what's that? And I punch them in the face, down.
Roll for initiative.
Always 20s, man. Always 20s. Except for when it's initiative, because when you want to roll something very low, like a 1.
Unless you roll the 100. Those things are huge. They're like tennis ball-sized dice. It's when I thought it was.
I roll for initiative. Oh! I win. I got initiative.
The dice I got didn't seem like big at all. They were just normal-sized dice, but just made of metal. And they were like dwarven steel dice, and they had like hammers carved on them, and it's real cool.
Dwarven steel dice, huh? Okay.
Sounds
awesome. So now on to what I've done this week. At my school, there's two... you have to get your own email at my college, my university. And so you have that email, and then you have your regular email, which is, your personal email. So Tuesday, I went to class. I actually had an essay due that day that was over summer reading that I hadn't really done, and I needed to really do it. So I did the summer reading sort of the day or two before, and then just all day before that class would start at 3 o'clock, I was just writing that essay. I get it done with just barely enough time to get to class. So I get to class. It's 2:45. Class starts at 3, and I'm sitting there for 10 minutes, and nobody's coming. I'm like, what? This is weird. Why isn't anybody coming? And then I looked at my email for the school, and the first email that popped up was, class canceled. Your essays are due on Thursday.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
I felt just like, you remember SpongeBob when he had to write an essay over the stoplights?
Yeah.
What not to do on a stoplight? And then he goes to class and nobody's there? That was me.
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was
I did exactly the same thing for every essay ever when I was in university, so you have my sympathy for being, I don't know.
But didn't you feel
fascinating?
Didn't you feel good when you had your essay finished and didn't have to do it later?
Yeah, it felt liberating, but also extremely annoying at the same time.
Yeah. Well, at least you had more time to fix it.
Yeah.
Not that you were going to, but you could have done it.
No, we didn't touch it.
I didn't touch it. Second thing, okay, so this is actually pretty cool. On my profile, I have an idea box. So I put up, sort of challenges or just ideas for people to start off, and somebody took one. And it was Ghost in the Machine, an SAO, and Persona crossover. So, he's like, oh, I was thinking about doing this idea. We talked over it at length, and here are my ideas for the entire premise and everything. And he's like, that's pretty good. I really kind of want to do this. So he did it, actually. There's 2 chapters up right now.
And you favorited it.
Yeah, I did.
Because I watch you. Always.
The guys, it's pretty good so far. For a guy's first fic, it's pretty good. And this guy also, he was the one who updated the TV tropes page for one of my fics, which I'm incredibly grateful for. And he, and this is, I also found it kind of flattering. He copied my style of profile. I kind of just threw together how I'd put my profile together. And he kind of I put up a link saying, oh, this is my Japanese name. He copied that. I put it oh, these are my things, what I like, and then he kind of copied the exact same format. Which is really cool.
Zero has a fanboy.
It's really cool.
He's trying to supplant himself into your life. You need to cut that off now.
So it's, the author's name is Shadow Arisato.
See, he has Shadow in his name. I'm telling you, man.
It's pretty nice having somebody that can.
This is how it starts. I'm telling you, this is how it always starts.
Kenshi knows. He knows.
Yeah.
Oh.
But that was just, I found that just extremely awesome. Another thing that I did this week was I caught up on Log Horizon, finally.
Awesome.
And
weren't you the one that recommended watching that?
Yeah, but I fell behind because of school and everything.
All right.
And then I eventually just, So I had some free time after, the essay. So I went back and I caught up, and it's getting really good.
Yeah.
It's I kind of like how everybody thinks of this sort of the military leader of the adventurers, the PCs named Krusty, and he's like the main sort of military leader, the guy who goes to all the parties and everything. And then you got Shiro, the main character, who's the strategist. He's the villain in glasses. And I kind of love, seeing things from that point of view as the person who's behind the scenes and everybody's talking about him like, oh, he's such a villain. I'm like, people are gonna hate him, and I find it strangely awesome. Because
it's not a narrative you see very often, no.
Yeah, it's very, it's refreshing. After seeing the main character being like, oh, I'm in the limelight, I'm going to save the world. But having a character that decides to sit back and, go into the background like that, it's always refreshing. I always like it. So I'm now going to be following that a lot more closely. I still need to watch the newest episode, actually. That's coming out today, I think, or tomorrow. Another thing, I was at work the other day, and right as I was about to go on my break, the belt I was wearing broke.
Wow.
Like, the buckle, where you have to put it through, and that belt, that snapped off.
You can't ignore your girth.
Yeah.
I was just, no. It wasn't, I didn't even need the belt. The belt's mainly there for, decoration.
Yeah, your trousers just hold themselves up because
seriously, the belt
so
isn't
snugly
required.
fitting.
The belt isn't required. It's part of the, uniform, but that belt has been through a lot of crap. I always throw it all over the place when I'm, not using it. I just throw it there. So that belt has seen some it's seen war.
And my favorite belt recently broke as well. And now I gotta use my less favorite one.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think you two are just getting tubs.
Yeah.
Like me, because I've, burst buttons on 3 of my pairs of trousers now. I am now officially a 34-inch waist. Because I break anything that's 32.
Actually, I had to make notches in my belt. Extra notches in my belt, because it wasn't tight enough to hold up.
I always have to wear my belt on the tightest setting. Because it's just too big.
I have to wear mine on the loosest, but I think that's because I'm, getting the wrong size belts.
Possible.
Yeah. Never mind. Anything else, Zero?
Twitch Plays Pokemon ended.
Did it?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Did they finish?
Yes.
They beat Blue.
Wait, what?
They beat the champion, Blue.
I guess 10,000 people working together can, in fact, ignore Gary Oak's girth.
Yeah.
I figure.
It only takes that many, and there's way more.
I'll paste the link of the final battle, but they pretty much had a Zapdos, which they overleveled into the 80s.
Yeah.
Sound strategy.
And they had level 69 Pidgeotto, and I think when he leveled up to level 69, you could see the chat. You could literally see the chat explode with 69, 69, 69, 69, 69. It was we're never going to level him up again.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
They had a level 54 Nidoqueen, 52 Amistar or Lord Helix.
They all have nicknames.
Yeah.
All of them.
All hail the Helix fossil.
Yeah. AJ the Zapdos.
Oh, Helix fossil, grant me your wisdom.
Lord Jesus the Pidgeotto. Yeah, it was... all-terrain Venomoth. They had all-terrain Venomoth. ATV.
Yeah.
I love these nicknames.
They're so great.
And
then they had the Lapras, which was its name actually is AIII RRR Air. I think it was Air Jordan or something was the name. Twitch Plays Pokemon is going to be resuming, by the way. I think they're going to be probably doing either the first Red and Blue, or they're going to be doing the next gen. I think they might be doing second gen though.
Yeah,
I imagine they'd have to. I mean, they've already done Red Blue.
Yeah, they uploaded the save file for that playthrough.
I thought it was a hacked game. I thought that wouldn't work.
No, it says
like they hacked it to make
Pokemon
it so
Red save file. It's right there on the description. Yeah.
I thought he hacked the game so that you could catch all 151, possibly.
I don't think so.
I don't know. I misheard that. Misread it.
Final thing I've done this week was I found out I haven't really been on too much into memes. So I went on to Know Your Meme, and I saw for the first time Diglett Underground a meme.
Oh yeah.
And that was very entertaining.
I've seen some of those. You might have noticed that I wrote a one-shot inspired by them.
Yeah, I sent Casey some of them. Which was kind of fun. One of them was like
I think the Diglett flew up high one is the one that mostly inspired it. Just Diglett, little dirt mound at all, just soaring into the air, and nothing below it, just a flat plane.
Yes, it was so great because the dirt thing that was surrounding it floated up, and then the two other pictures I sent Casey was just like, monster.
One of them was sort of an eldritch abomination. The other one was just kind of gigantic muscle dude, I think, or something like that.
Something weird. I don't know. I was having fun. I was in a weird mood. It's like, oh, look at this. I'm going to send this to Casey because he likes Diglett. I think he hates them. I'll send it to him anyway.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm cool with Diglets.
So that's what I've been doing this week. Oh, and it's my birthday tomorrow.
Yay.
I'm turning, I guess I'll say my age because, nobody cares. I'm turning 19.
Let's sing for him.
Oh.
Let's
not.
Sing for him. Don't do it.
No.
We'll get sued.
Yeah, for a lot of money.
You can sing Happy Birthday to the Attack on Titan theme.
That sounds
Don't do
awesome,
that again.
Kinda.
We've done that joke. Previous episode. Hey, everybody, listen to old episodes. They're still great.
Except for the ones the sound quality screwed up.
Yeah, there was like 2 of those. It's fine.
3, 4, 5.
Okay, most of them I fixed afterwards, so most of them are okay. So there's like 2 that's still kind of fucked up. Like the one where we had a delay on the audio for some reason.
Yeah.
Anything else, Zero?
Yeah, I'm good. That's it.
All right, Kenji, you're next.
All right. I think there's something wrong with me. Because
really?
Yeah.
No,
I mean
something else?
No, something else. I don't think I mind getting hit that much. You want to know how I know?
Because you're an MMA fighter?
No,
you're a fighting character with super armor?
I should still mind getting hit, but I don't. Because the thing is, I got paid like last Friday, and I went out and bought some essentials, new headgear and boxing gloves for sparring. And the new gloves came with the new glove smell. Ooh. So when I went to spar, I loved the smell of the gloves so much, I didn't mind getting hit in the face.
Oh.
What? What?
That doesn't make any sense.
So could you...
But they're your gloves. Were you lending out your gloves to other people so that they could hit you with them?
Yeah.
I mean, not everyone has gloves, so you gotta let people borrow gloves sometimes. So that's why I had more than one pair, so other people can spar with me when they don't have their own stuff.
It hurts so much, but it smells so good.
I wasn't even I don't know if it was just I was ignoring the fact that I was getting hit, or he didn't hit that hard. But I was just like, man, these gloves smell amazing this whole time.
Maybe he was just hitting you, and he's like, these new gloves feel so amazing. I can't bring myself to hit somebody too hard with them.
I don't know what it was, either on one side or both, but that's just how that particular incident went. I also realized that while I don't bruise like regular people, I do turn red in certain places where I'm hit. So, yeah.
You're a strange person.
I know that.
You're just now discovering this?
I've never hit the fact that I was messed up. I've told you this.
Okay. Anything else? Just new stuff?
Yeah, other than that, I've just been, I've had extra like a lot of extra working hours this week, so I've just been sleeping because I've worked vampire hours.
Oh, yeah. Wish I could work vampire hours. Speaking of working, it's my turn now, right?
Yep.
I got a job.
Woo!
Shocking.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm going to be doing sales for the next couple of months, selling phone contracts and stuff to businesses.
Is that over the phone?
Yep. I'm doing telesales.
Ouch. Well, at least it's a job, I suppose.
It's a job, so I'm cool with it. Yeah, so that's going to be happening. Have to get a bus pass and all that stuff. I start Monday. Woo. Or I will have started Monday by the time you're listening to this, audience. Yeah, so that happened.
Hooray!
Yay.
I wish there was a song I could sing right now to convey my happiness.
Let's see. I don't want to default back to the Pokemon theme song, but
Okay.
It's not a
It's
happy,
okay
it's
if you
not
don't sing a song.
It's not a happy
I'm
song.
entirely okay with you not singing a song.
But we have to commemorate this occasion.
With song?
Yes. When amazing things happen in the world, people break into song. Don't you watch movies?
No, that's like My Little Pony and stuff. That's like not real
you've come so far and tried so hard, but in the end, it doesn't even matter.
How is that a joyous song?
Not to mention you got the lyrics backwards.
I know, but I just had to change them around for that.
Yeah. I just announced to the world that I know Linkin Park lyrics enough to know that he got them wrong. Yay me. One of their worst songs as well. Fucking wonderful. Yeah, we've already established that I was a scene kid when I was a teenager, so... those days.
I like them.
They had some good songs.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that happened. I watched Bananasaurus Rex
What?
literally break records in a game of Spelunky, which was something. Like, has anyone actually played Spelunky on this podcast?
What is Spelunky?
No.
Tell me
No?
about this mystery.
It's like, you ever heard of the Masochal genre? Like the ridiculously difficult platformer style games, like
God, yeah.
I Want to Be the Guy and stuff like that.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's kind of one of those. Procedurally generated levels where just about anything can kill you. And he played through the entire thing with a record-breaking score of 3.1 million. To put that into perspective, that is a score that is so high that the developer originally thought it would be so impossible that they decided to include an anti-cheating measure if anyone got that high a score.
Wow.
Yeah, it is probably the modern equivalent of a kill screen game. So, yeah, that was pretty impressive, just watching it happen. It was like an 8-hour stream on Twitch. Nuts. Actually, 11 hours, because he'd been going for like 3 hours at the time, and he got the exact scenario that he needed to get this amazing score, and he was like, oh, I really want to sleep, but this is never going to happen again in a million years. Literally, it was that rare an occurrence. So he was like, okay, better put a pot of coffee on. So he just kept on playing for like another 7-8 hours to get it done, and he did it. Record breaking. Beat the last high score by like 500,000 points. It was ridiculous. So that was pretty cool to watch happening. Also, this week, literally today, I engaged in some podcast masturbation. I listened to our podcast. I did not actually masturbate. I feel like I should clarify that right now.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think you really needed to specify, but just in case, yeah.
I mean,
thanks.
yeah, my silky smooth voice is kind of sexy, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't blame you.
I listened to what I think is probably our best episode in episode 13, a.k.a. Fandom Flux's Hot for Legos.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Why is that the best? I don't remember why.
Condom Depot.
Oh, yeah, great.
Yep.
That
That
was
one.
a thing.
That was a thing. Yeah. So I listened to that while I went to the shop today, so that was fun. We're kind of good at this podcast thing. Can I say that?
Yeah, we're pretty good.
Yeah, we're pretty good.
We're getting better.
We're okay. I think we're pretty good. Yeah. All right.
Just want somebody in the comments and say no.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that I've done this week. I mean, I haven't done that much. I kind of suck. But now I have a job, so fuck you guys.
You think, like, since you're going to be, like, talking to people over the phone, some people will recognize your voice? You're like, hey,
sincerely doubt it.
Hey, it's
Yeah,
you,
really
Casey. Hey, I'm such a big fan of the podcast. Where's Kenji?
Why me?
That's really depressing, but that's probably going to happen.
Yeah, someone actually does pick out my voice, and then they immediately want to know what Kenji's doing. That sounds about right.
That's horrible, guys.
Okay, we're going to move on from what we're doing, because that's me done. Everyone else is already gone. So, the next topic we have is Bleach, once again. Now, someone actually posted in the comments and asking whether we would do, like, update for like all the big manga like Naruto and Bleach and One Piece and etc. There's already a podcast that does that. It's called Weekly Manga Recap. Basically, they do exactly what you wanted them to do, like go over each of the big series. So they do Bleach, they do One Piece, they do Toriko, and they do Naruto. That was it. I forgot about it. And then every week they pick out another manga to look at and like sort of advertise, I guess, and promote. So if you want that, you can go there for that. We picked out Bleach specifically because it's so generally terrible that it always has something that we can pick out and say, don't do this,
it's quick
because it's terrible. Yeah. So that's why we do Bleach, not the other ones. Mostly. I suppose we could do Naruto if we really, really wanted to, but that's more a general overall kind of this plot and these characters are kind of terrible, rather than this one chapter is specifically pretty terrible for any significant reason. I don't know. So, Bleach this week.
It was interesting, you know. The classic, here's the villain's sort of almost backstory, and then here's them die.
That doesn't count as a backstory.
It doesn't.
That brings up something. Why does Kubo always like put some sort of focus on some sort of background in the villain right before they die?
I feel like that's a manga trope. That's something that they always do. I mean, Hajime no Ippo does the same thing right before he gets knocked out.
I kind of feel like that was just like, hey, you guys want to know how he got his power and his sort of trauma? Well, here's how he got his power and his trauma. There you go.
He thought about how if he went to hell he might shit himself. That is how he got his bullshit fear powers. What the hell kind of backstory is that?
Yeah.
That's basically being like, hey, look, I thought of a thing, and this is why he got the thing, because, you know.
That's literally what it says. Oh, God, if I went to hell, I might shit myself. He literally says that, or thinks it, or whatever.
Yeah, because, you know, Kubo can't let his characters die without you knowing exactly why they had their trauma. They can't just, you know, fade off into the background and die. They gotta have at least a little bit of backstory.
Oh, and can I also pick out the incredibly lame emo ranting at the very beginning of the chapter?
Yeah.
I have it in quotes here. Why must we endure something as painful as living? Life is so harsh and full of pain.
Wow.
Really?
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought so.
Your reading of it was good. The speech is retarded.
That's just, hey, guess what? We're going to make the villain slightly gray, so he's going to be emo and going to be somewhat sympathetic. And I'm thinking he's going to be super sympathetic, but everybody's going to be like, nah. That's what I think the thought process behind that was. You know, it's just people have a hard time just going straight up, you know,
villains?
Black characters being like, you know, straight up villains. Because it's like, I want this character, I worked hard on this character, I want everybody to not completely hate them. And by work hard, I mean I drew out this character in like 10 minutes. But still, you know.
If I ever create a villain, I want him to be the most single, despised, reviled person in existence.
Yeah.
I don't want you to like my villain. I want you to want to see him get his ass kicked. That's the point.
Because if people start liking the villain, then you might have to keep the villain around and make him into like a buddy character, you know?
Yeah.
If people start liking the villain, then the villain has to be redeemed. Otherwise, people will hate the story. That's how it goes.
So that's just weird for me. Why he would even do that? You know, it's okay. Fear obsessed. We don't need to know why. We don't need 4 or 5 pages of just, you know, oh, I hate my life. I hate death.
Life is full of pain.
Life sucks. I wish I could, you know, I don't know. Death sucks. Life sucks. Everything just sucks.
I'm gonna go update my live journal. My parents suck. Alright, question. Did that character die after that? Did they actually, like, it wasn't exactly clear what happened after that.
It's never
I think
clear.
he's dead. I think he's dead. I hope he's dead.
Well, it was kind of a pointless character, so I don't really hope he's dead as much as I don't care.
I don't want him to return. How about that?
Yeah, it's just such a non-entity character. Just
I don't like if I suddenly if I go to the next chapter and I see the words "life sucks, life is harsh," I'm going to just go on a plane to Japan and put a gun to his head and say no.
Can I come with you? Because I've been like talking
Kubo.
about doing that to someone else for a while, and I gotta back it up if you're going.
Actually, in like a year or two, I'm going to be studying abroad in Japan, so I can just, you know, go for a drive over there.
Yeah, well,
oh, fucking wonderful. More ridiculous time zones.
Yeah.
It won't be for a while. And I'll probably be, you know, on a weird time schedule anyway.
Yeah, well, when you do that, can you go to Kishimoto and just backhand him and say that was Kenji 618, and I can just say I made you do that?
Kenji, just send me one of those new gloves, and I'll make sure he feels that new glove smell.
All right. I could totally do that.
I do feel like I need to be a little bit even-handed with this and say Rukia's Bankai design is kind of gorgeous.
Yeah.
I admit.
The design was great.
That was a pretty cool design.
The fact that she has to kind of melt afterwards is a little bit odd. But, you know, it's okay.
Yeah. The whole excuse for her having to activate it is kind of ridiculous and stupid and kind of a waste of our time. But you know, the actual design itself, good show. Credit where it's due.
Yeah. What is her ability?
Ice. That's about all we know.
Oh. All right, then.
We just see the character design after she's transformed, and that's it.
I'm pretty sure it's Ice Explosion. Or something like that. Something like it's like a one-shot type of attack, in my opinion, from what I've seen. And then she gets frozen after using it in that Bankai design. So she can't move until she melts. It's kind of what
that seems really one-sided. Like, bad.
I think it's supposed to be powerful enough to get your enemy. It covers a lot of area.
Plus, the idea of like brand new Bankai, is that it's like not very well refined, and it is going to kind of suck until they develop it a bit more.
Yeah. I think Ichigo's like cracked his bones or something when he first started using it. He got used to it.
Yeah.
Plus all those badass moves that the fucking Hollow could do, and Ichigo somehow never learned.
Yeah, and I
suppose it makes sense from that perspective.
Then, you know, there was the head captain before he died, you know, and he's like, you know, my Bankai was...
He was literally saying, like, it's a baby's Bankai and all that stuff.
Yeah, head captain, evolved his Bankai over and over and over again. To, you know, so when he was fighting, like, you know, Bach.
Until he was fucking God mode.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
He's like, you can't get close to me. You can't run away. You can't do this. You can't do that. You're dead.
Pretty much.
Yeah. So
that was also a pretty cool design.
Yeah.
Well, the powers. It's a shame that they were all revealed specifically so that they could be counted in one move.
Pretty much, yeah.
But oh well.
That was how it's generally handled.
You get used to that in Bleach. No, you don't.
No,
it still
you don't.
sucks. But
you never stop hating it, actually.
Yeah. No, you don't. Yeah, so that's Bleach this week. It was kind of sucky, but had a good point in one character design.
Yay.
All
right.
Right, so next topic. Oh, shit, Zero just mentioned that we got a question. Thank you, Zero.
No problem.
That was Johnny's question, yes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was. I forgot about that. Okay, so next topic is killing. So, we've talked about killing your own characters previously, in a previous episode, probably twice or 3 times or something, because, it's kind of an important aspect of storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty.
Characters need to die or there's no tension and all that stuff. Yeah. So, in fanfiction, well, tell you what, in canon works, especially for, adolescent targeted works, like Harry Potter or any shonen series ever, there's generally an aversion to killing characters at all, because death is a bad thing, and you don't want kids, air quotes, seeing that, or reading about it or anything like that. Most of the time it eventually gets averted for, the big grand finale where the main villains are going to die and get defeated and all that stuff. Usually it gets averted like that. But before that happens, usually fanfiction ends up with a bit of a backlash going on. So all these people that have been wondering, why don't the heroes just kill these characters so that these evil characters can stop murdering innocent civilians all the time? And that's fine, and it makes sense on a certain level, but what you very rarely see, and it's actually probably one of the things that makes me pick out certain authors as a little bit above the rest, is sometimes you'll find an author that tackles the issue of how the hero characters feel about killing after they've killed one of the villain characters.
That's not often done, yeah.
It's very rarely done, and I'm not going to say it's always done well, but it's always interesting to see how the author tries to tackle it. And I know I've done one recently. Well, recently. I release chapters every 2 months or something. But, and I know Kenji's done a couple before. So I thought it'd be worth talking about, how you have hero characters handle this kind of situation.
Yeah. In my opinion, I think most of it would depend on the hero character. Because, how do you define it, what type of hero are we talking about?
So, for example, mine was Harry Potter, Life of a Ninja. So, Harry is adopted into the Nara clan. He is raised on the idea that he will one day be a ninja. He will be a assassin for hire, basically. That's what ninja do in reality, or what they did, rather. And while canon Naruto doesn't really deal with that side of things, I kind of wanted to pick up on it, sort of. I mean, I've seen it handled a few times before. Like I said, Kenji's done it before. So, while they've been raised and trained in respect to the fact that they will one day have to take lives, and they've been prepared for that to an extent, I still wanted to handle the reality of it sinking in what they were doing and what they had done at that point. So it still has an effect, no matter how much preparation there is, even in the backstory. It's going to impact them somehow. And I feel like you have to have it affect their outlook on the world a little bit, even if it's only a little bit, because of the way they've been raised. But just any just random... If you try to have Harry Potter randomly kill a Death Eater, it's going to fuck him up pretty bad.
Yeah.
Right?
Possibly.
In reality.
A lot of people really... this is going to sound kind of sociopathic, but a lot of people really overplay how much effect killing someone would have on you.
Yeah, I see that a lot. When some people try to, like, dramatize, they go a little too far, I think. I mean, I don't know, because I've never done it, obviously. But
it's easy to over-dramatize it.
It is, but on the one hand, you've got, like, soldiers that are trained specifically with the idea that they will be killing people and prepared for that in advance, usually by, I don't know, deadening them a little bit emotionally. So, like, you will follow orders, you will do this, and they will not think about it at all. They will just get it done. That's pretty much the point. Mm-hmm. And then there's civilians doing it that haven't been trained for that at all, and the full impact of what they've done hits them head on.
Mm-hmm.
There's a difference there.
Yeah. Like, if you're writing a story where the main character is like a soldier or anything like that, you know, and it's their first kill, the impact, you know, it really does depend on the character, I have to say, because, you know, you've got some characters which are, I guess, hardened enough or have seen enough stuff, maybe in their past, maybe they saw their parents die or something, and maybe they've seen a dead body before, and maybe they won't freak out as much. But, you know, you got other characters that'll, you know, fall to pieces at the sight of, you know, a dead body, and the fact that they did it will just, like, ruin them. Completely, like, make their personality do a 180, at least for a little bit.
And then I suppose you've got the characters where it won't affect them right away, but then after a while they'll sort of go back and reflect on it, and that's when it hits them. Mm-hmm. There's another way that it can happen.
I kind of want to mention BioShock Infinite, and these are some spoilers for BioShock Infinite, but you know, Comstock and, you know, Booker, where you know, you can either, you know, try to have your sins kind of cured, and he ends up becoming, you know, one person, Comstock, or he, like, you know, you can move on with them and, you know, accept that you've done it and have to live with them, and then you become, you know, Booker, the hero. So you can deal with things, you know, even the character, you know, it doesn't have to be definitive in what way they deal with it. They can deal with it in different ways.
I mean, even earlier in that game, you have Elizabeth, and the first time she sees Booker kill someone, she freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
Like, immediately.
She does. She starts running.
Yeah. Like I said, when it's just a civilian and they either are exposed to that or do it themselves, it has an effect.
Yeah.
Like, unless there's maybe something slightly wrong in the head a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe.
And then you get to see her, she gets used to it until eventually she ends up killing somebody.
Eventually you just get desensitized to it a little bit.
Yeah.
Wait, who's the first person you kill in that game? Or you just mean like a random
first person she sees you
kill?
The
first person she sees you kill is in an ambush. Yeah. Like after you rescue her from the tower or whatever. And you're on the beach at the pier, and then you start going through all the like gambling facilities, and then they set up an ambush for you. I think it's a tram station or something.
Yeah,
the one where they stab your hand,
grabs you.
Yeah.
So
and you get ambushed there, and you have to fight them off, and she freaks the fuck out as soon as the guns start coming out.
On my first playthrough on that game, I decided not to shoot the guy before he stabbed me, just because I wanted to see what would happen. And I ended up stabbing you. Wear a bandage on your hand for the entire game, which is a nice touch.
Yep, that's how mine went.
Second time through, I just shot him. Like, screw you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose that's kind of one of those good guy, bad guy moments. In fairness, BioShock did quite a few of those, and they did them kind of subtly, and they didn't really impact much, but there was a little bit of role-playing in that.
They didn't impact anything. Just like...
Yeah.
I constantly wondered why she kept tossing me things, and I kept catching them with my injured hand.
Yeah.
Use your other hand to catch things, you moron.
Just one quick... we're already off topic, but this is a little bit more off topic. Irrational Games, people who made Bioshock 1, 2, Infinite, those people are disbanding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ken Levine's taking like 10 people or something.
Yeah,
and then
like
just
15,
making a new studio.
Yeah. And then 2K Games is taking the Bioshock name.
Of course they have.
Oh.
Yeah, it's going to be Bioshock 2 all over again. Bioshock Infinite 2.
But
I don't know.
People keep ragging on that game, but I liked Bioshock 2.
I didn't play it because I didn't care. It was another character brought in from absolutely nowhere, facing another character that was brought in from absolutely nowhere. I didn't care.
It just, Bioshock Infinite style. There's always a girl, there's always a hero, there's always a man with too much power.
Was there a girl in Bioshock 1?
Something like that.
Does the little sister count?
Probably. I don't know.
Tenenbaum?
I don't think Tenenbaum counts.
Well, she's not a little girl, no.
Or there's always at least a hero and somebody who has too much power. Something like that.
I think that specific saying was specific to Bioshock Infinite.
Yeah.
The other ones are slightly different. Causality and all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Alright, have we got anything more to say for killing?
That's his character's up.
I mean, it's... Yeah, like you guys said, it really depends on the background of the person that got their first kill, really.
Mm-hmm.
Because... And it's... I don't think I've carried it off the wrong way, because, in one of my stories, it's alternate universe and everything. Naruto knew they didn't just kill people, but he still hadn't killed anyone. And in that story, I had him, first kill someone, chapter 17. It's, 13 chapters later, and he still, has ramifications off of that first kill.
Yeah.
So, but it doesn't really stop him, but it's introspective, makes him introspective, he's formed something off of it, so.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not something you see very often dealt with, and I think it would speak a great deal about how the author sees that character if they could establish how they think that character would deal with that situation. So, I'd like to see more people try and deal with that if they're going in that direction for the story, which more often than not it probably does. Because, like I said, there is a backlash when it comes to the no-killing rule. Never say die and all that.
Yeah, I'd like to see it taken advantage of more. I mean, sometimes they have characters that they should have probably killed, come back and do something horrible, and that's the life lesson of the story. But on the other end of the spectrum, I'd like to not have them make such a big deal about it sometimes too. Just the entire story, they're angsting about it. It's get over it already. It's one person. But I don't know. The only way you could really fix that is have more authors kill people so they would have experience, and that's obviously not something that can be done. We're not recommending that. Fandom Flux does not recommend killing people to gain experience.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sure there are a lot of people that deserve it, but we cannot officially endorse that.
Yeah, seriously, don't do that.
Okay.
We don't want to go to
jail. Don't do that. Wink. No, don't do that. No wink. No winking. Don't do that. Okay. So, coming off of that topic, we're going to go with something a little less that topic. Right. So, a question to pose at the Fandom Flux crew, as I've been titling us for the past 24 episodes. What do you think your mental world would be? Mental world, your inner world, your shadow realm, or whatever you want to call it. If you were to represent yourself with one building or facility or place, what would it be?
I feel like my inner world before. I feel like my inner world, it wouldn't be enclosed, because I don't know. Whenever I go off into my head, it's It would probably be a big sort of fantasy world, because it's probably my escapist tendencies, because I like writing things, I like playing video games, I like going into other worlds. It's my thing. Reading. It's probably be a mishmash of a whole bunch of things, because there's really nothing specific that really personifies me. Or to think about it. Because, if we're talking about like Persona 4 game where you have like everybody, their shadow inner worlds all kind of represent, problems or areas that, they've dealt with. But mine, it's just, got over my problems pretty easily.
You're pretty okay right now?
Yeah.
Pretty stable?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, as stable as I can be. I do think I might be slightly insane.
There is a chance of that.
Sure.
Hey.
Slicer read another Minato, so I think he knows that I might be slightly insane.
Hey, you don't let people punch you in the face just so you can smell the gloves that you bought.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really weird.
Thank you for telling that story, Kenji. That was special.
Did they actually hit you in the nose, or?
No. I never let them hit me directly in the face. I was wearing headgear anyway, so I always let them hit me with a glancing blow, off the side of the forehead.
You just block it, and you just hold their hand there, just let me snip these gloves.
They can just go.
Well, the gloves we were using didn't have fingers, so I couldn't grab. Not really. If I wanted to. Not that I wanted to. Not that I did that, or would have wanted to.
You gotta go in there. You gotta, was it cinch or clinch? You gotta get in there, and you gotta give them a big bear hug. Be like, let me smell these gloves.
How would I be smelling their gloves then?
You gotta do it in a way so that their hands are up, their fists are right in front of their face, and you just there, let me smell these gloves. You just stare at them as you do it.
Also, Kenshi isn't a boxer; he's an MMA fighter. If he was to try and clinch someone, that could end badly for him.
It was kickboxing. It wasn't just boxing. Terrible things would happen to me.
So you gotta pin them. You gotta pin them first. You've gotta pin them on the ground, and then smell.
We were sparring stand up. There was no on the ground.
Knock them out. Smell the glove.
Yeah, we're gonna move on now.
Okay.
All right then.
So Kenshi, what would your mental inner world be?
An arena backstage night of an event of some sort.
So backstage?
Yes.
Why backstage?
Because I've been backstage for things like fighting events, so I know there's always basically in the lower level stuff that I've done, because most of the time in the bigger ones you'll have entire if you're a fighter, get your own ring to keep you separate from the other guy. Make sure you guys don't go anywhere in case something breaks out. But in the lower level stuff, there's really not enough space in the arena for a whole bunch of rooms for that. So usually you're pretty much in one big room, and everyone's got their camps and stuff, and you're all just talking amongst each other, talking amongst yourselves, and it's always real tense and everything. And I don't like conflict outside of conflict, so I never looked in the direction where I knew my opponent was. And it's kind of tense, really. It's really hard to relax at that point. Aside from that, in the backstage areas, there's always people walking the halls and stuff. I don't know, it's kind of an easy way to superimpose people you see in everyday life, or the conflicts you're currently going on with actual people, if you equate it with that. I don't know.
Okay.
Slicer, any idea?
I really like stormy weather, so probably some kind of rainstorm type setting, and then I don't know, maybe an unfinished city. I have a problem finishing things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very metaphorical. That's fair enough.
I feel like my inner world would be populated with people and characters that I come up with. just weird.
I think mine would probably be my bedroom, because I almost never leave it, but also because I figure it would be like supersized, so everything's gigantic and I'd be tiny. So like, I don't know, maybe starts feeling a little bit claustrophobic despite the size, and despite the fact that everything I've got I need here. So I don't know. My head goes weird places sometimes.
I see that.
I just came up with a new idea for a superpower.
What's that?
Your physical condition is directly related to your own ego.
Huh.
I would be fucked up.
So when somebody starts beating you, you start getting weaker.
Either that, or you go into ego defiance and get stronger. Like, there's no way I can lose this fight kind of thinking.
Yeah.
That's basically Naruto, like, all of the time, right?
Yeah, that's like
Powers.
shonen power.
But
right
having
there.
that as just the power.
Yeah, that's your power. You get
That would
stronger,
actually be pretty fun.
directly related to the size of your confidence in yourself.
So you can never, ever be self-deprecating.
Yeah.
Ever. Oh.
That would breed the worst kind of character.
I want to write that kind of story. Just to see. Just to see if people would like that character.
That'd actually be really interesting.
It'd be a character there'd be nothing beyond the character past I'm awesome. Because he has to be that way.
Yeah.
That is really unfortunate.
Because if he shows any sort of like, oh no, I can die, I'm weak, then he automatically becomes weaker. So he has to be like, I'm awesome, you're all gonna lose.
And technically there's no limit to this power.
He starts getting his butt kicked. He's like, oh, I'm just getting warmed up. I'm way better than you all. Just get stronger.
I imagine eventually there'd just be, like, I don't know, basing his life entirely around fighting, you would get a little bit more esoteric about his ego, and like, am I only good for fighting? And then it'd start getting weaker again.
Yeah, at everything else, but maybe he'd be good at fighting. But
he'd have
fanboys
everywhere.
I have a great way to introduce that character.
What's that?
Someone's mugging him and they pull out a gun on him. And he's like, you really think that's going to kill me or something? And he's just talking
I'm way
shit
better than you. Oh yeah, you can't beat me. Punches the guy through a wall.
No, bullets dodge me and stuff like that. And you eventually get shot and stops the bullet.
Well, that'd be something.
I'm going to write that now.
All right.
Please don't. I want more history's strongest ninja, shinobi.
I will, but it's going to be a venture I'm going to do to make money.
Please. Sorry, I really like that story. It's probably my favorite one of yours at this point. So, next topic. The Ensemble Dark Horse. So, this is the character that everyone loves despite being present for like 1% of the series total.
Yay, Boba Fett.
Yes, like Boba Fett, or Shikamaru Nara, or Toshiro Hitsugaya, or I don't know. What was the one that I said? Luna Lovegood from Harry Potter. That kind of character.
Thing with
Boba
Boba Fett,
barely in anything, but is loved anyway.
Yeah. Thing with Boba Fett is that his action figure was very popular. That was the main thing going for him. It's like, oh, who is this guy? I don't remember seeing somebody this awesome. Then they go back. It's like, oh, it's that guy.
Yeah.
Sarlacc pit.
Didn't he die by getting eaten by a giant sand vagina?
Yes.
Sarlacc pit.
Basically.
I just said that. Well,
Yeah.
If they make... we don't know exactly if he's dead, though. Is that thing supposed to digest
We kind of do. I can't imagine being eaten by a giant sand vagina would be good for you.
It's supposed to digest you over like 1,000 years. So, and he does have like explosives and stuff like that. He has a lot of stuff which maybe he could use to kill it. I don't know.
I never did understand the digestive tract of that thing, because you would decompose long before that would digest you.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got time.
I guess maybe its stomach acid would keep you from doing that, but I don't know. It's confusing.
I never saw the appeal of Boba Fett, to be honest.
He's got a jetpack and missiles. And
can't hate jetpacks. I mean, come on. Jetpack.
Granted, the flamethrowers are kind of lame.
They're very situational, that's for sure.
Yeah.
You punch somebody and you flamethrower them at the same time, and you can't really do anything.
What?
They could hug you. They could hug you as they die. They could do that.
If you're wearing armor, you know, and it's
burn with me.
Every time my brother threatens to kill me with fire, I say, I'll just hug you.
So this is a regular thing, then?
It's not always fire.
Yeah, I can vouch that brothers threaten to kill each other all the time. I have two.
Only had a sister.
I mean, it's like a daily thing here.
Yeah.
I only had a sister, but I admittedly threw things at her on a regular basis when I was a kid, so, you know.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So, the Dark Horse Ensemble Dark Horse. What do we got to say
about that? The Dark Horse
that?
Ensemble is probably something slightly different. That sounds like something from My Little Pony.
Not yet. I'm sure that'll probably come up, though.
I'd probably watch that if it actually came up. Because that sounds interesting. Sounds like a cool team name. The Dark Horse Ensemble.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
That sounds like that could be a major crossover effect with all the, like, you know, Ensemble Dark Horses from each world pulled.
You'd have basically every character but the main characters.
Yes! It'd be great.
I'd read that.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about My Little Pony, but I'd read that. Sure. Could be cool.
So, anybody have really anything to say about this?
I actually prefer... I read some Sonic stories, and I can't stand stories that are about Sonic, because he's just a bad character.
He's
douche.
He's got the amount of depth of
that you'd expect.
I can't even think of something.
But he's got attitude.
His attitude is his personality. That's literally what he's got.
He likes chili dogs, and he runs fast.
He has traits that make him, you know, a character, but that's like it.
And he's blue. Sneakers.
Sometimes he rolls.
Sometimes he jumps on dudes.
And he wears white gloves for some discernible reason.
No, it's sports tape now.
Yeah. And that's not really very fair, because everyone in that universe wears gloves. That's just,
everyone in that universe also sucks.
He wears sports tape for some discernible reason now.
Because it's cool and edgy. Don't question it.
But he doesn't use his hands. In a situation that requires sports tape.
Sonic does have some good side characters, I have to admit. Like, Knuckles is always fun.
Everyone loves Knuckles.
Everybody loves Knuckles. And then Knuckles started lifting.
Yeah.
There's Shadow, and it really is up to the person whether or not they think he's actually cool.
No.
He's okay.
He's Adventure 2, yes. Otherwise, no.
Adventure 2 was awesome. Then they decided to bring him back because screw it. Make his sacrifice meaningless. This Tails has been getting pretty awesome.
Tails was always shit before they got the new voice actor, I think.
Yeah, Tails has been getting better.
Mostly because of the old voice actors, actually.
He invents... Remember in Sonic Adventure 2 when he was just in a robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like his main trait is that he can fly. But he was in the robot.
I actually really like those levels.
They were fun, but...
They were basically the Gamma levels from the first game.
Yeah,
Adventure 1.
They're fun, but, like, I feel like Eggman's whole thing with him being a robot, yeah, that fits, but Tails?
Not so much.
Not so much, yeah. He's the type of guy who flies around and follows Sonic.
Never made a
I
whole
think
lot
Tails
of
would have been better suited, like, doing, I don't know, like the Sky Chase things from Adventure 1.
Mm-hmm.
Just like that kind of thing, shooting down missiles and bombs and shit.
Yeah, that actually would work out pretty well for him. That would have been enjoyable.
But then they just wanted to Xerox everything from the hero side and the dark side, I guess. So
screw originality.
that was unfortunate. We've been talking way too much about Sonic in particular.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, Ensemble Dark Horses, you get that a lot. You brought this up actually, and it's a point I wanted to make. It happens a lot when the main characters kind of suck.
Yeah, they're forced to be bad because they have to. They're a label. They're not a character anymore.
Huh?
Okay, it's the Mario problem. Mario doesn't have a personality because he's Mario. You can't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So,
but
like
then Luigi,
he has a lot of personality, but he doesn't sell. So.
He's selling pretty well. I mean, Dark Moon, the Mansion games have been doing pretty well.
There's something to be said for the year of Luigi being one of the worst years for Nintendo.
I think that might just be because of the new consoles. I mean,
probably, but still, the writing's on the wall.
They did not get in enough Ouija. Even when it was the year of Ouija, they didn't have enough Ouija. They had too much Mario. If they had more Ouija,
should have been the year Toad.
If they had more Ouija, the world would have been a better place.
Not enough cowbell. Wanted some more cowbell. You had a fever. You had a fever. And the only prescription was more Luigi.
It was, and we failed. We're all sick.
What was that a reference to?
Saturday Night Live.
Okay. I just had to check because that's also a line from Bayonetta. Oh, that reminds me. I watched the Bayonetta film anime.
Why?
That they did. I don't know.
That exists.
I like the game. What'd you say, Zero?
I didn't even know that existed.
Huh. Stay
they did a full-length feature anime film. It's okay. It's not terrible. And it's almost not at all fan servicey, like almost never.
So it's not Bayonetta then?
Well, it's played pretty straight for the most part. It does okay doing that. Like I said, it's not terrible. Yeah, so Ensemble Dark Horses you see a lot because the main characters kind of suck. So Naruto, Sasuke, they suck. Sakura also sucks. But then you get the other teams, so like you have Shikamaru, and that's pretty much fangirl bait, if memory serves. And then you have Hinata, who is the opposite,
the
obviously.
Waifu.
Yeah, you get that a lot when the main character's kind of rubbish. So people latch onto something that's different and a little bit more interesting because they're allowed to develop because they're not the main character who has to be one note all the time.
Yeah, the main character can only really progress if the story progresses with him. Sometimes you don't want that.
Yeah. Meanwhile, all the side characters are having their own arcs and own like personal storylines that they're going through constantly. And because it doesn't affect the main plot in the slightest, they're allowed to go through it at whatever pace they feel like. So they can be a well-developed and interesting character long before the protagonist can. Happens.
It's a shame, but yeah, it happens. Well, sometimes, I suppose. Sometimes you just want the story to be slow. Or maybe the main character not to be very good.
It's interesting as well, because Ensemble Dark Horses, for how popular they are as characters, it's still not very often that you see them be major characters in fanfiction. More often than not, usually the protagonists are still the main characters, because people want those characters to be as interesting as the Ensemble Dark Horse, I guess.
Yeah, I have that problem. I can't read stories about side characters. Like, as side character centric, I suppose. I just lose interest. I don't know why.
from my perspective, they're already developed, so there's no point.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas the protagonist, most of the time, just kind of almost complete blank slates. They have some character tics, but that's about it. And they have some established relationships, but if you're writing a fan fiction, you can change and alter those relationships as you see fit.
Yeah.
Just do whatever the hell you want with them.
The Anko and Kurenai being best friends is usually... It's pretty solid fanon at this point.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's another
like
ensemble dark horse, isn't it? Anko.
They're like the only two adult women that you know of in Konoha, so...
Yeah.
I suppose a more obscure one would be Tsuyuya and Kin from the Sound Village being friends, or at least even knowing each other, which it doesn't make any sense
they weren't really
to think
adults.
about it, but...
They were still kids from the perspective of the series. Yeah, there really aren't enough women in Naruto at all. There's like 3.
Pretty much.
Well, I've had this rant before, so I'll skip it.
I believe
that's
so.
Okay with everyone. I'm pretty sure everyone's okay with that if I skip it this time. Yes. Yeah, so Ensemble Dark Horses. They are interesting because they're allowed to be interesting, because they have nothing to do with story progression. Moving on. The next topic we have is filler. So what do people think of filler? Because I have some opinions on filler, and I would like to hear everyone else's first.
If you're doing... Kenny? Kenchi?
It depends on the medium that the filler is being used in. If it's in anime, I hate it because it usually sucks. Let's just ignore the fact that you said that. Can we just?
I don't think we can ignore it, Kenny.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. Damn you.
Oh God.
Sorry.
You've opened Pandora's box. How dare you?
I'm gonna make that stick. You're gonna be Kenny618.
That.
Oh. Anyway, anime filler sucks.
Yes, anime filler usually sucks. If it's anime filler, I despise it. But if it's filler in a fan fiction, I really don't mind it because it usually allows for character development scenes.
The thing is, with anime filler, sometimes it's actually used to explain certain things. You know? Sometimes it's not entirely pointless. And, you know, there's some filler arcs that are really good. Like in Bleach, the part where the Zanpakuto spirits come alive.
I actually really want to see that one. Never got around to it.
I like
Bleach in particular. I want to call out Bleach. People always shit on the Bount arc a lot. It wasn't terrible.
Yeah.
I liked it.
As far as filler arcs go, it was pretty decent. I mean, it wasn't up to the standards of early Bleach, making that distinction for good reasons, thank you very much. But it absolutely wasn't terrible. It was a decent story.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with it. People just shit on it because it wasn't progressing the main plot, and in hindsight, I'm betting people are wishing it went on for a bit longer, just because... Yeah.
Because
we said enough about the main plot of Bleach
and
what it did to.
And for One Piece, there was some filler where it was literally it was telling Ace and Luffy's backstory.
That wasn't filler.
That was actually.
If you're talking about the flashback with Sabo, then no, that wasn't filler.
That whole
that was
flashback arc, I don't know. People were saying it was filler. I didn't know. I didn't read the manga for that one. I'd been watching the anime.
That's the problem with some people in filler. It's filler is kind of hard to define. The official definition of it's not in the manga, but there can be manga filler. It's rare, but it's there.
Yeah, it's just when the author wants to spend more time planning what's going to be coming up, which I imagine is what that arc was for. Specifically, that one was because it was right before the time skip, so Oda wanted more time to develop what was going to happen, what the character designs were going to look like, and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So,
and it's not like it's that different in fan fiction. You know, you want more time to think about what you want to do next, but at the same time, you want to put out an update. So, you can sort of put in a little bit of filler, maybe make a filler chapter, just so you can buy yourself some time and keep your fans happy,
Yeah, I've seen that done a lot. Just got to be careful you don't only post filler.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not something I recommend doing a lot, but if you're going to be, starting something big, like a new, arc in your fan fiction or whatever, like I'm doing with 2 different stories right now, starting, big arcs with them, it's okay to put in a little bit of filler. I kind of had the last chapter of Celestial Suicide Mage was sort of filler, because I really, it was the start of the new, I like to call them seasons. Mm-hmm. They really feel like to me.
Okay.
But it was the start of a new thing, so.
Yeah. I got no problem with filler. I like sometimes filler.
Yeah.
Obviously, as long as it's decent quality. If it's, complete rubbish, then obviously I'm not going to like it, am I? But, I mean, I don't mind the main plot being put on hold a little bit for the sake of a smaller story that, while not the main plot, is still kind of interesting in its own right. I mean, again, One Piece specifically has had some absolutely dreadful filler in the past. I mean, the very first one, if you'll remember, was the bullshit dragon stuff with the little girl and the fucking, what was it, Battleship Island or something? It was terrible.
Yeah.
It was 4 episodes right before they went to the Grand Line. It was pretty bad.
Yeah,
But then on the other hand, you have things like the, what was it, G8 arc, where after the whole City in the Clouds rubbish with the lightning guy, they drop right smack bang in the middle of the government base, and they have to figure out a way to get out. That was interesting, with the whole commander doing his little chess master routine. That was pretty cool. I mean, it wasn't a massive sprawling story or anything, but it was a nice little sort of in-between thing.
The unfortunate truth of filler is you can't have anything be permanent from it. A character can't gain an ability, they can't gain any kind of character development, so
yeah,
as long as you work within those confines, you can make it good. It's just there's no permanent side effects of it.
Nothing of actual consequence can be gained from it. It just happened.
It needs to be a good story. The story needs to carry it, literally.
Yeah. I mean, you can have, tiny things just affect it in the slightest bit, again, back to the Bount thing from Bleach. When Ichigo was struggling with his inner hollow, he was confronted by Karia, the leader of the Bounts, as well as all the other stuff that was going on. That happened too, and it was interesting that they added that little detail in there and a little speech from him. So you can add little nods to it in the main story as well. It's just, it can't be too overt. You can't have big, massive plot elements added by the filler stuff that's going to affect the main story, because then it's going to change the main story. And you can't have that if you're going to do an adaptation. So.
Yeah. Let's see. Fan fiction specific filler. Is there anything? Could you really define that, or is it just the
I don't
same
do
as everything else?
So I don't know. I specifically mentioned in the planning stage that I just don't do it. I don't do filler. I don't do. Everything's pretty brief when I write, so I can't comment on that.
I think this is something else, but on a much smaller scale, I find myself putting filler in sentences, just extra words.
Right.
Yeah, I have that's good sometimes, but I find myself doing it too much, and I get really long sentences that are complicated.
Yeah. If anything, I don't do that enough. I've been specifically called out before on the fact that I say things with the fewest amount of words possible, is what I've been called out on before. So
yeah, that can happen too.
Yeah. suppose on the other hand, that makes everything kind of important and no words are wasted, but that can have its own problems as well.
Doesn't lead to a very long story.
I suppose Omaki's technically a form of filler, right?
Yeah.
I suppose
Kenshi does a lot of those. You do a lot of those, Kenny.
Damn it.
Kenny.
Yeah, I'm talking because I'm hoping if I don't say anything for a while, let you guys go off on tangents. Forget that when next time I say something. And
No way, Kenny. This is important because you're the one that does this kind of thing, Kenny.
You guys.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry.
I misspoke.
You gave us an amazing gift.
I don't know if I should be sorry anymore.
No. You probably should.
No. Okay, Kenny.
You guys.
So, Omaki's, our resident expert, Kenshi.
Yeah, I do them for two different reasons, but they both are pretty much.
Speak up.
I do them for two different reasons, but they're basically both interwoven. I put them in because they're absolutely going to have no real bearing on the plot itself, and or I can't fit it in the actual chapter for any reason because it would have been filler if I'd done it. So, boom.
So it's sort of like you're adding in the extraneous bits because you find them interesting, but they just kind of break up the flow of the story.
I find them amusing and entertaining, but there's no actual real logical reason for them to exist or be there. So I think it's something people will enjoy if they read it, but they won't enjoy it when they realize this has absolutely no bearing on the plot whatsoever. So I put them as omakis because they can enjoy it and just detach it from the story.
Yeah, and there are examples of that in like canon works that aren't necessarily like adaptations. Like Code Geass, for example, did a lot of these. Just like there's this big epic, revolution war kind of thing going on, and then every now and again I just have this weird little school life episode where they're chasing a cat around the school building, and the first one to catch it gets the date of their choice or some nonsense, and it had absolutely no place in the plot, but they had them there anyway because I don't know. I honestly don't know why they were there.
Pad things out, I guess. Seems like.
Yeah. So that's another form of filler. Just sort of, I guess, for intent, they were supposed to be like breather episodes or something, but it didn't come off that way and just came off as kind of lame and pointless. It's a danger. Like you said, if it doesn't fit, then don't leave it there and just have it in its own separate thing. So that people can enjoy it on its own merits rather than as part of the main plot or story.
Yeah. Wisdom from Kenshi.
Yeah, wisdom from Kenny.
Fuck you. I think so deep, I eat religion and crap out enlightenment, okay?
Yep, Kenny's a badass.
Yeah.
Well, he is, but, I mean, we're going to ignore that. We're going to be real sarcastic about it.
Guys, you're killing Kenny. Stop
You're not killing me.
We're bastards.
Your hate only makes me... Fuck you guys. I was wondering how long it would take for one of you fuckers to say that.
I was thinking it. I didn't want to go for the low-hanging fruit,
You have
though.
any idea how much grief that shit gave me in 98?
No.
Oh, I don't give a shit about the low-hanging fruit. I'll take it. I'll take it and enjoy it.
I was in third grade. Do you have any idea how horrible that was to be named Ken?
Oh, I can imagine. Oh.
No, I've
Is it all
never
coming
had to
back
deal
for
with
you,
that.
Kenny?
All right.
Is it?
Your hate just makes me stronger. Let's go.
I don't hate you.
Well, I know.
When I hear the name Ken, I think of the first thing I think of besides Kenshi is the you remember in Starbomb, Casey, the Ryu versus Ken rap battle?
Yeah.
I think of that for some reason.
Can't imagine why. It might be something to do with one of the characters being named Ken, maybe.
Yeah, it might have something to do with that.
Yeah, maybe.
On an unrelated note...
that you are the greatest to ever duke a giant hole in my chest.
Yeah.
Hey, you rhymed on me. Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that was an okay song. Not one of the best ones.
It had some pretty fast lyrics.
It did. And the whole complete inability of Danny to rap was entertaining.
Mm-hmm.
I am completely lost, but okay. I'm just going to assume it's a Game Grumps thing and ignore it.
It's a Starbomb thing. You should really watch the full YouTube video of the album and then buy it if you like it.
Bye. It's funny.
Please note that as we of Fandom Flux get everything completely and totally legit.
We all buy our music and other forms of media.
We all buy everything the correct way.
I do.
I do actually buy most of my things on Steam. My games, I mean. It's just the ones that I don't have money for.
Makers, the creators.
Actually, yeah, that's another thing. I've pretty much become a convert to PC gaming at this point.
Yay.
I've been forcibly
everything's
converted.
at like a £10 markdown from retail prices on Steam, so at minimum.
All right. I think we should move on to the next topic.
What is the next topic? Scenery porn. Who's clicking a pen?
That was me. I'm playing Resident Evil 4. Got grabbed.
Okay. Scenery porn. Pretty much anything from Darksiders 2.
Yeah. Specifically, I brought this topic up, or I suggested it. But the Ash Valley. It's an optional area. It's just gorgeous. Or not Ash Valley. Ash Sea. It's this blue-green expanse of black water that has these trees going up into the sky. It looks great.
Does all of the wilderness section of Assassin's Creed 3 count as scenery?
No, because Assassin's Creed 3 sucked.
But it was gorgeous. It just was boring.
Tell you what, any of the ship segments in either Assassin's Creed 3 or Assassin's Creed 4, I will give you those.
All right. I've never played either of those, so sure.
I really enjoyed all of that because it looked amazing and it felt amazing and it actually was immersive. You felt like you were on that ship a little bit, which is nice. And kind of part of the point of decent scenery. You want to feel like you're there, so it's good stuff.
You see, the way this works is we're only going to go into the most recent stuff we can think of because that's what looks the best. I can't remember anything that was old that I would have defined as scenery porn because it's not.
Some levels in Star Fox 64.
Okay. I didn't play that, so Nintendo fanboys, please enlighten me.
Poor person.
I
really liked Star Fox 64. It's a good game.
I always wanted to play that, but I never got to.
I'm trying to think of some old stuff that I might think of scenery porn.
Yeah, like I'm telling you. Oh, Grand Theft Auto Vice City.
Yes. Yes, I agree with you there. That was a nice looking city, like all of it.
Yeah.
Especially that one billboard that said "Candy sucks" on it. That was good. I'm kidding. That was fucking ridiculous, but yeah.
What about the time you had the mission to put a giant spotlight on the side of a building? It was just boobs.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I was talking about. Yeah, that was a thing.
I like the older Grand Theft Auto settings because they put little Easter egg shit in the actual environment itself to look for it and give you a chuckle. And there was that kind of stuff all over Vice City, and the city itself looked good. The beach was fucking fantastic.
Yeah, it was. Fuck the dodo, though. That fucking pseudo plane that you couldn't really fly.
I could fly it in Vice City. I couldn't fly it in 3.
I never played 3, but it took me hours to learn to fly that bloody thing in Vice City.
In 3, I eventually learned how to fly it by just throwing it off the side of a bridge, and it would only give me air for like 10 seconds. I think my record was like 10 seconds in the damn thing. It was actually a fucking recorded record in 3. How long can you fly this dodo before you kill yourself in it?
Yeah.
Bloody thing.
But Vice City was just it looked so good that sometimes all I did for hours was just drive around listening to 80s radio. And it was fantastic.
Yeah, San Andreas had none of that. Well, it had some of the radio stuff, obviously, but it did not really have the scenery. For all of its grand valleys and vistas and desert locales and stuff like that, none of it looked very good. It all looked kind of washed out and gross.
Yeah.
Beginning and the end when it came to that kind of thing. Because Grand Theft Auto 4 just turned that up to 11. Everything was fucking brown and shit. God.
I mean, it looked like it was supposed to... It looked like New York City, the way it was supposed to look. But...
That's not what you want to see, though. You want to see something interesting and... I don't know, pretty. Let's call it pretty, because I can't think of a better word. But you want it to look good, not drab and horrible and ugly. It's fitting for the setting and for the plot, but... Ugh.
For some reason, like, if you buy the DLC and you do, like, the Ballad of Gay Tony, shit looks brighter.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah, and if you buy, like, the other one, the Lost and the Damned, it looks like everything looks grittier. You're also extremely broke in Lost and Damned all the time, so it's really annoying.
Okay.
Just throwing that in
I
there.
can see that. I mean, it's trying to enhance the mood of the plot that's going on. I mean, in the regular one, everything's kind of drab and horrible because you're Nico Bellic and he's a fucking miserable motherfucker. And then in Lost and Damned, you're this, I don't know, douchebag biker dude, I guess, right?
Yeah.
And then in The Ballad of Gay Tony, you're, well, Gay Tony.
No, you're like you're like his assistant.
Okay. I didn't play it, but yeah. I can get how they would change the way the environment looks because of who you are, and I guess that makes sense. I mean, your character would see it differently, so you would see it differently based on what you're seeing because you're the character, right?
Yeah.
Circuitous logic, but it's there.
Yeah.
I was going to say something for this, but I can't remember what it was. So.
A game you played recently? Or do you mean like this specific topic, not
this specific topic? I can't remember what it was, so never mind.
Battlefield 4 kind of has scenery porn. You can't really stop long enough to look around, or else you'll die. But when you play like the bigger game modes, and you get to see like the bigger scope of the map, it looks really good. Especially right before people start tearing the fuck out of it.
Yeah.
All that shit is destroyable. All that shit is expendable.
Yeah, that's all I got. It's got on the competition.
Which game? I didn't hear him.
Battlefield.
Oh,
Battlefield.
Yeah.
In comparison to Call of Duty.
That's a fair point. Yeah.
Like if you were doing something quiet, like if you just like go off by yourself and snipe, and you just like want to look around for like a few seconds, looks fantastic.
And then something will blow up, and then you'll be like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then a helicopter will fall on you.
Yeah.
Because some dumbass doesn't know how to fly it.
That actually got better in 4. I've noticed a lot of people actually know how to fly, or maybe just the morons haven't invested the game yet. That they don't know how to use.
Well, did they have like a little training island? I didn't play 3, so I don't know. Did they have a little training island to let you get used to shit?
Yeah, they did. They had a training area. It was pretty great.
Then there shouldn't have been no reason no one knew how to fly/drive.
Yeah, I remember a specific video. It was like a gaming journalist like showing off the game and how it plays, and he had no idea how to fly a helicopter. So he sees this other player just running past. He says, "Okay, let's watch this guy do it. He looks like he knows what he's doing." This other player takes off, immediately tilts forward and goes right up and then right back down. Crash lands into a fucking cliff.
Wow.
It was... It was pretty beautiful.
It exemplifies the problem, I guess. But
yeah, kind of.
It really lowers your faith in humanity, I suppose, if it could even get any lower.
Yeah, it's good stuff. Yeah, so scenery porn. It's nice to have. I wish it didn't involve like massive budgets for making it. I mean, it's not necessary. You don't need everything to be like pixel perfect. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
Doesn't need to be pixel perfect to like make it look good. You can make it look good with decent art direction. I mean, Psychonauts, for example, did not have a massive budget when it came to graphics design.
No.
But it looked amazing because it had decent artists working on it who knew what they wanted the game to look like. And how to stylize it to make it look amazing, despite the fact that it wasn't, ridiculous polygon counts or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. It wasn't super smooth, and it didn't fit a lot of the typical what you would call good-looking games, but it was a really fun game to play and explore. It kept you guessing about what you'd see next.
Interesting because you'd never seen anything like it. So.
Oh yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3. That's scenery porn. That game looks good.
That being the other end of the spectrum, just like AAA budget, putting all the money into making it look amazing.
It played amazing as well. Oh, you didn't like it? Oh.
I didn't play it.
It's the best out of the Metal Gear games.
So people keep telling me.
It is. You'll forget why.
That's not setting a high bar.
You'll forget why you hate the game if you played 3. Except for the cutscenes, right. It's the longest spot, but whatever.
Well, yeah,
moving on.
You skip those.
Completionism. So specifically talking about achievements more than anything else. How focused are you on getting all the achievements and doing everything perfectly? And my computer just beeped, and I don't know why.
That was my watch, actually. Sorry.
Is it? Oh,
yeah, it beeps every hour. I can't get it to stop.
All right. I think I've only actually completed like maybe 12 games at most out of all that I own, but I can remember some of the ones I completed off the top of my head. I completed Matt Hazard just because it was so fucking easy.
Wow. Feel proud. Fucking round of applause for that, Kenny.
Yeah.
Yeah. So? I didn't look at the trophies either until I got them, and they made me laugh. All of them were amazing. But the other one that off the top of my head that I completed was Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 because it was so fucking easy.
I just bought that game again on Steam with the full burst expansion. Yeah.
Is that the one that's the weekend deal? They got some
yes.
Naruto game right now.
Yes, that's the one.
Right.
Naruto Shippuden Ultimate Ninja Storm 3 Full Burst. That is a video game title right there.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's a good game and definitely worth buying.
Kind of reminds me of Dragon Ball Ultimate Budokai Tenkaichi.
No.
All those names.
No, it's a very different game.
I know, not in terms of gameplay, but in terms of naming mechanics.
Yeah, he means the title.
Oh right.
Or Persona 4 Ultimate Suplex Arena.
Yeah, I mean, it was originally Naruto Ultimate Ninja, and then they did the anime second part, and they called it Naruto Shippuden, so it's Naruto, Shippuden, Ultimate Ninja, Storm, 3, Full Burst.
Wow.
Full Burst!
There might be one too many colons in there, but it's the general gist of it. Yeah, that's title. Yeah.
Did I ever tell you guys what happened to when I tried to play Tenkaichi, the Dragon Ball games?
No.
I don't think so.
Well, I got from Christmas. I got one of them. I forget which one, and they didn't include the install disc because that's what you needed for it. It was a PS2 game. It's calibrating or something. I don't know. You couldn't play the game, so I just got an empty case with a game disc that didn't do anything. So that was the end of my trying to get into Dragon Ball Z games.
That makes me
very short.
That makes me pretty sad, actually.
I mean,
yeah.
You weren't really missing much if you didn't play Budokai.
Because some of the old Dragon Ball games were pretty good.
Yeah.
But me and my brother always fight against each other in the Dragon Ball games. I always typically win.
You always typically win.
There's probably maybe one time when I get a little bit cocky and he beats me, and then I don't lose ever again. But I go against him using, like, Videl.
That's one of the kid characters, right?
No, that's Gohan's wife. Gohan's girlfriend who can only use physical attacks and can't do any key attacks.
Hercule's daughter.
Oh, okay.
She can do a key. She can throw one key wall.
Yeah, one. And it's super slow and weak.
Hey, at least you have
options. So it's the cherry-picking character, then, or cherry-tapping, or whatever it's called.
Cherry-tapping, yes.
So. That is something really weak you humiliate someone with.
I actually was playing online with one of my friends, and we were doing the 5-person battle mode on one of the Dragon Ball games. And I was, like, we each got to pick 5 characters, and I pretty much all of his characters with Videl. I switched out to one character. I switched out to, like, a Super Saiyan, so I'm like, so you don't have the shame of being completely defeated by one little girl.
Right. That was nice of you.
Yeah. You're a class act, Zero.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, we were talking about completionism.
Oh,
so,
right. I don't do it for most games because the developers know some people are going after that, so they make some of the achievements, like, impossible or so tedious you don't even want to do them anymore. It's like
some developers
hate
do
the
that.
game.
I have to really like a game to go completionist for it.
I think I did that for... Actually, Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm 2, I think that I did that on. Actually, now I think about it.
Oh, and easy.
For a while, I was trying to do it for Skyrim.
That's doable. I mean, you've got to know what you need to do. Like, if you mess up one of those Daedric quests, then you're fucked. So
I got that achievement, because you just basically, you know, it's really not that hard. I think it counts if you get them on multiple save files.
I messed that one up because I like playing as the nice guy, and the Daedric quests always have you doing terrible, terrible things.
Oh, all the time.
Yeah, but in 2 of them, they actually give you a choice of, do you be the nice guy and not kill the guy, or do you kill the guy and get the Daedric artifact? And naturally, I picked the nice guy option, so I didn't get the artifact.
There's one where you can be the nice guy, and then you can go back and be the bad guy and get both things.
Hey, you just gotta save scum a little bit.
Namira's thing in Skyrim where you have to eat people. One of my friends, they're like, okay, I ate the person, and then I killed everybody else. And I think she might have ate them, too. But yeah. It's like, oh, we're having a party. Oh, we're all going to eat people. Okay, I'm just going to eat some people, get my ring, kill you all, eat you. Good.
That would be an interesting thing to write. A Dragonborn going through all the Daedric quests.
Yeah, I suppose that would.
As in, if you were to play it straight and do actual character, reactions and motivations.
Yeah, he's not just crazy.
And then make a spoof version of it where the Dragonborn just doesn't give a crap and just does whatever.
That'd be a hell of a story. I'm not entirely sure I would read it, but it'd be
something
interesting.
So, completionism.
2 games: Naruto Ultimate Ninja Storm and the Dead Rising Case Zero, the shitty arcade version of Dead Rising 2 that they released before the game came out.
I can't remember which games off the top of my head I got all the achievements for, because it's on my Xbox, which is in the other room. I'm on my computer. So, I can't reach it.
Alright, I'm going to throw on my PlayStation real quick and go through and see what I've actually completed.
Are we actually going to do this? Because we're closing on an hour 50 at this point.
Kingdom Hearts 2. I worked really hard to get everything on that one.
Let's see, I finished Infamous. I finished Grand Theft Auto.
Then again, I had a very solid goal on that one because I wanted to see the secret ending, because I had not considered that I could just look it up on YouTube.
Screw looking it up on YouTube. Experience it.
Yeah, earn it. Like a
man. Yeah, no,
Taste the rainbow.
I'm super lazy, so I'll just look it up. But yeah, I eventually earned it. Yeah.
Okay, we've established that Kenshi is kind of a little bit of a completionist. He is not, by any stretch of the imagination, the most devout completionist I've ever heard of.
Like, I won't actively seek out to complete a game unless I randomly look at my trophies one day and see, like, oh, you have like 60-something% of this one. Well, what's left? And then I look at what's left, and if I can actually see what's left with not hidden achievements, be like, huh, I can do that.
God, I hate hidden achievements. They're so stupid. It's like, how am I supposed to know what they are if I can't see them? It's like, you have
to look them up and see which ones you have and which ones you know what they are and which ones you don't.
Like
so you can match the secret ones.
They work.
Most sites will usually list that these are secret achievements.
Like, secret achievements work if they're actual achievements you'll get by playing through the game, not if they're actual shit you have to look for.
Yeah, if you just get it by default, then that's fine, but otherwise, why? But yeah, I've seen far worse completionists, like Mike Kroon from the Internet Box podcast, who was so devout a completionist that he tried to complete 100% the achievements on Quake 4, I think it was.
Is that
the
not
Xbox 360 one?
Or?
Memory serves, you need to play 5,000 matches in it, win 1,000 matches on it, and get number 1 on the leaderboards.
Wow.
For perspective, no one was playing that game a week after it was released. So there ended up being like 10 people who would constantly face each other in matches over and over again, trying to get these achievements.
That sounds pretty epic.
He finished it last year. He started in 2006, I think, when the game was released. Took him 7 years of constantly sitting on Xbox Live in the lobby just waiting for matches to come up in the game.
That's depressing.
Like 4 hours and he would get 3 matches in a night and win 1 of them.
I guess that's a hobby, I suppose.
I suppose it is, but Jesus, that's dedication. It's misguided, but it's dedication.
Could you imagine if you put that energy into something productive?
If you put that energy into anything else, it would probably be My Little Pony fanfiction. So
awesome.
Yeah, Slicer might appreciate it, but I don't think many other people would. Yeah. Sorry, Slicer. That was mean. I apologize.
I'm not sure if I mentioned this, but I don't read a whole lot of My Little Pony fanfiction. It's weird, but I don't.
That's not that weird. There's a lot of things I don't read fanfiction for, mostly because it's always shit, but still.
If you've read any of it, do any of them use the pony body chart in order to determine which part of the pony to talk about?
Brought this back up. Christ.
Some of them do, yeah. Most it's just basic stuff, like haunches instead of 4 legs instead of arms.
Okay.
Okay. We're going to move on because we're really running up the clock on this one. So, question. We got a question. We need to do the question. What was the question?
What's a cliche that you see in a story that makes you cringe or disappointed because it seems to cause a drop in the story's quality?
Right, this was Johnny's question. Amnesia. Bravely Default still pisses me off because I just found out that Amnesia Guy is apparently a crack pilot. Finds this out by suddenly miraculously piloting a ship that's in like a nosedive. So
I don't know. I like Amnesia. Yeah. It's always I always like the character starting out with Amnesia.
Why?
I don't know. It's just a thing that I find interesting. I don't know why. I'm just weird.
I find that baffling because it's either just an easy device to make the character a blank slate that the player can, or the reader or whatever can implant themselves on, or it's just lazy storytelling so that they can have dramatic reveals of this character's backstory.
That's a good way to get away with free exposition.
Yeah. But what I use only reason I use Amnesia is because it kind of has to happen because of the premise. So it's not like I widely like use it, but you know, I try to approach my stories logically. Like this would happen because of it. So if the conditions of the story have to cause amnesia, then it has to cause amnesia. You know. But I think the thing that really makes me cringe or disappointed is always has to do with characters, more so than anything else. Is that when you get a character that's just so stereotypical, it's just so, you know, not unique.
You would hate Bravely Default.
I mean, it's not like I can't handle it, but it annoys the crap out of me when, you know, I'm like, I can be like, okay, this character's not unique. What else does he have to him? I bet it will be revealed in time. And then that doesn't happen. Because that really, like, that angers me, because I love making characters. I love writing characters that can evolve over time, but when you don't even see a bit of depth behind that, like, I mean, with One Piece, you've got Luffy, and he's gone through some stuff. It's not like he's stayed static. Exactly. You know, so I can accept that. I can still follow One Piece because, you know, it does that. But when you have a stereotypical hero, or even worse, a stereotypical villain, it's like, I want to destroy the world. Why? Because I want to. Or because reasons. Because my wife died.
Because it's a horrible place and it's a world filled with pain.
Yeah. I would actually be interested in a story where somebody's like, I want to destroy the world, and they said, why? It's like, because I want to. Gosh. Feel like it.
I like villains like that. I want a villain to come out of the womb and start evil laughing as a freshly born baby.
Yeah.
That is my ideal villain, because I'm sick
yeah,
of
I like a
terrible
villain like
backstories.
that. But when you try to make the villain, like, I feel like so many people have tried to make the villain relatable that it's become boring.
Yeah.
In most cases. They want...
yeah. Congratulations, Mrs. What's-His-Name? It's a boy! Yeah!
Yes. Yes, I would love to see that.
Oh, look at that, Chappie!
You know, its first cry is an evil laugh.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's what really makes me think this story quality drops, is when they don't put too much effort into the characters.
Here's an idea.
Yeah?
The villain's backstory could be that the doctor slapped him on the ass when he was born. That's it. That's
Yeah, that's a good one.
I like that. I mean, Broly says that he heard Goku crying in the crib next to his. So, I guess.
Yeah.
That works.
Broly's awesome, though, so that's excusing.
I know. I didn't say it was bad. I didn't say it was bad.
He's not so... Broly is literally blowing things up because why not? And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with a villain like that.
All right,
I just realized I forgot to note down the link dump. Whoops. Oh well. Looks like I'm listening to this again.
All right.
Not that this one was pretty good, actually, so we're okay. Anyone else got anything they really dislike as far as cliches go, I guess?
When a writer breaks the universe's own rules just for their character to be awesome.
Unless that's his ability, specifically.
No.
It's already established beforehand.
I don't even like it then. Like, I see it a lot. Like, I don't see it as much anymore because I stopped reading as many. But in Naruto fanfiction, a lot of the times, the character will make it so that the character doesn't have to use hand seals to use their jutsu.
That happens, though.
Yeah.
In canon. I mean,
very few
don't use hand seals for at all.
There are jutsu you don't use hand seals for, but most, they'll, like, have them, like, the dragon one that's got, like, 16. It's like, oh, you can just, if you're good enough and you know how to do it enough, you can just do it with your mind, and you can make the dragon your chakra.
You can use your imagination.
Imagination.
Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not.
Imagination. Are you sure? You want to go to
yes.
Imagination Land?
No. Place is creepy.
Candy Mountain.
Charlie. We're on a bridge, Charlie.
Yeah. So this is went places. I think
in Naruto, I've got to disagree with Ken. I mean, the idea that you can train yourself to be able to do things easier is a basic tenet of shonen series. You can do things easier the more that you work at them. So, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, the whole not doing it at all, kind of ridiculous. It's the same as like wandless magic in Harry Potter. It's not. No one can do that in canon.
Yeah, not canon though.
They can do things easier. I mean, like Itachi, like they say, Itachi so fast you can't even see his hand seal, so he's like he's not doing anything at all. That's him working so that it's not so he can do it easier.
That's actually sillier in my opinion, but yeah, but I like the idea that it takes less and less hand seals over time, the better that you get at it. But the idea of removing them completely seems a bit silly.
Yeah, people remove them completely. Like the second Hokage, you're supposed to be able to do the dragon thing, only 2 instead of like 16 that it takes.
Mm.
I like that. Like that makes sense to me.
Yeah. Anyone else?
I'm 100% certain I've mentioned it before, but just in general, using rape as a backstory, it irritates me.
Yeah, that's some. It seems really underplaying when I just say it's low-hanging fruit as far as like traumatic backstories go.
Yeah.
Last topic. As always, we have recommendations. We are really running long. Who wants to go first?
I'll go first.
I think you have mine, so...
I'm going to recommend, it's Ghost in the Machine by Shadow Arisato. It's the story that he took from me, the idea.
With permission.
He's fairly new at writing, but it's not bad. It's okay. I like it so far. But I recommend, just check it out because it is an interesting idea that, I had thought it out for a bit, and for a while I considered actually writing the fic. So I thought out a lot of the stuff. So I told him everything I knew, and then he's like, "Oh, that's awesome! I really want to write this now." So, it's got 2 chapters out. He's doing pretty good right now for somebody who's doing it for their first fic. So, yeah, check it out. Maybe give him some pointers.
Okay. Ken, have you got one?
No, I don't, because I haven't done anything reading-wise this week, or
I
haven't ingested any media.
I have 2, so we're okay on that. Slicer?
An author named Dagobert Carroll has these 3 stories. They're basically just fragments. More fragments, and then yet more fragments. It's just little one-shots he writes. And, yeah. What, was that one of yours?
You literally took my backup one that I was going to leave next week in case I didn't have anything.
Ooh.
Yeah.
To the core.
So, yeah, I recommend that too. There's some good like mini stories in there. A lot of it's Harry Potter. There's some Buffy the Vampire Slayer stories in there. There's some Ranma stories in there.
But
some Naruto as well, I think. That's about it.
It's if you don't read Buffy the Vampire Slayer, you may want to just give it a pass. It's like 80% of them is Buffy.
Still good though.
Oh yeah, they're good, but yeah.
Okay, my recommendations, plural, because Kenshi had nothing. Kenny. First one is a Fate Stay Night fic called Path of the King by Neo Alpha. That's Alpha spelled with an F because
why not?
I don't know whether that's correct or not.
Yeah, I think I heard of that one of Path of the King.
Yeah, basically Shiro being more proactive with the talents that he has. So the fact that he's captain of the archery club, he is a crack shot with a bow and arrow, and things like that. Basically, he takes things a bit more seriously as far as his wanting to be a hero is concerned.
His mage skills, are those better, or are they still crippled?
I believe they're better, but I read this like over a week ago, and I can't really remember much about it, unfortunately.
I can't blame it for that. When I'm actually reading stuff, I read so much stuff it all kinds of blends together. So
yeah, I read this and then read something else, so I completely forgot about it, unfortunately, because it was a good story as well. So it's actually a shame that I forgot that much about it. But yeah, basically, the author was annoyed that Shiro was constantly self-sacrificing and constantly wanted to be a hero so he could live up to his dad's ideal, but up until the Holy Grail War, he didn't actually do anything about it. So that was a failure on the part of the writing of the backstory for the author, the original canon author. But this fic is an attempt to correct that a little bit, so he's more proactive in developing his combat skills above everything else, that kind of thing. So, it's a good story. Pretty long, pretty well detailed. I don't think it's even gotten to the Holy Grail War yet.
Wow.
In fact, I'm pretty sure it hasn't. I think it's like 8 months beforehand at this point. And it's 250,000 words, almost.
Yay! That Holy Grail was going to be awesome.
That's a long-running story.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's one of my recommendations. It's a good story. People should read it. The other one is Fate Zero Revolution.
Dance Revolution.
I imagine this is a concept that has been done quite a lot in like Fate Stay fan circles. Instead of summoning heroes from the past, it summons heroes from fiction.
Yeah, that's really common, actually.
Yeah, as it does it. So, you get Lelouch v. Britannia as Caster. You get Solita Evans as Lancer, I believe. You get Alucard from Helsing.
Really?
As Ryder.
Wait, what? Ryder.
Yeah, because he has a jet.
Oh, okay. Oh, right. That's, yeah.
Yeah.
My audio went out for just a little bit. What happened?
Alucard from Helsing as Ryder in Fate Zero. You still have Gilgamesh because...
Oh, it's Fate Zero.
Gilgamesh.
It's not Fate Stay Night. It's Zero.
Yeah, it's Fate Zero.
Okay.
And Saber, as in Kiritsugu's summon, is
Berserker.
Führer King Bradley from Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. Yeah. Oh, and what was the other one? Berserker, I think, is the other.
Mm-hmm.
Berserker and Archer I haven't mentioned yet. I can't remember what Archer was. But Berserker was Count of Monte Cristo from
the Count of Monte Cristo.
Some other adaptation of it. I imagine there's an anime or manga adaptation of Count of Monte Cristo. Yeah, that. Mm-hmm. Big blue dude. Yes? Yeah. Anyone heard of it?
Yeah, vaguely. The art style really turned me off of it, so I didn't even try it.
Okay, yeah, so that's a thing. And oh yeah, Gilgamesh was Archer, wasn't he? Of course he was. Yeah. So that's that one.
You can't have a Fate Zero story without Gilgamesh. That's why I hate the bastard. He's a good character.
I feel like he's a little bit bashed in this story. Like, he very much feels like a prima donna through the whole thing. Just like when he gets ignored during one fight, he's basically knocked out of the running in the fight, and he is ignored in favor of opponents that are still standing. And he's like, "Hey, you, me fight, you, I'm here." Yeah, kind of thing.
That's great. I'm definitely reading this.
Yeah. So, it's a good story. It was finished, and the author is now, well, he's posted the first chapter of the sequel, but he's apparently working on something else while he gets the planning done. Yeah, so the sequel is apparently not going to have much to do with canon Fate Stay Night. I mean, Shiro is a non-factor for various reasons.
Well, yeah, if Kiritsugu isn't kicked out of the Einsberg mansion, then he's not adopted. Then the fire doesn't start, then he's just a regular person.
That's pretty much what happened, actually.
Oh. All right, then.
So, yeah. Oh, and terrible things happen in this story. It goes without saying, more or less, for a Fate story, but still.
Yay.
Worth mentioning.
Okay. In canon, there is a character that specifically targets and kills children, like, habitually, daily. So, I don't... Okay.
That character was killed very early in the story, as in first chapter, maybe.
Oh, all right.
If you're talking about Castor's master...
Yeah.
Then...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, Castor and his master, both of them are pretty weird and messed up.
Well, Castor is Lelouch v. Britannia, who has a bit of a hero complex, so you can imagine how that goes when he finds out who his master is.
Oh, yeah, I can't imagine that going well.
Yeah, so it's a fun story, and it plays with the mechanics fairly well, as well as I know them. Mm-hmm. I mean, like I said, I'm not a big Fate fan or anything, so I only just started reading it.
All right.
But it's a good story, definitely worth looking at.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that pretty much wraps things up, and we are at 2 hours 15 minutes. Christ! All right.
It's less. It's like 2 minutes less, probably.
It's fine.
Yeah,
it's fine.
but still, I rounded.
Fine.
Yeah. So I would like to thank you all for listening to the episode 24 of Fandom Flux podcast, long running as it was. If you'd like to get in contact with us, you can do so through the Blogspot page on the comments, or through our own personal profiles on fanfiction.net. If you had... Thank you for listening to Fandom Flux podcast episode 24, and we're out.
See you next time.
Bye.
See ya.